The reason I continue to connect the dots is this question. I can't seem to stop asking it. Another reason I keep asking this question is because of this guy. He chose a greedy path. Nobody benefited from it but himself. He kept this information to himself. 100 years later, at least we could have improved construction techniques if he'd given it away. Instead of hoarding it, he may have even gotten a girl. What do you think? Everyone knows there are just too many people on this planet. And there's this guy. Really? Just look what I did. I applied a green environment to an environmental question. I applied a gold environment to this guy. For obvious reasons, there's a connection. This is to show you how easily we are manipulated. This world is huge. There's a lot of room, a ton of room, if we cooperated. This happens to be the same symbol that the Illuminati use, and it was won in war by the Leeds family, who use this symbol still to this day, even though it's a symbol of genocide. They don't understand it, and I've emailed them my particular reasoning why they are using it to this day. Funny thing about these guys, the Illuminati, they're so smart that apparently they think by war they can claim legitimacy and rule by virtue of blood to these people, even after killing them off. Amazing. The eyes of that extinct species of giant, whose bones filled the mounds of America, have gazed upon Niagara as our eyes do now. That was Abe Lincoln, well over 100 years ago. Apparently it only takes about 100 years to change, alter, or forget history. Do you think the Illuminati know that? Do you think they know how to manipulate people? I'm going to paraphrase a history of the Sumerian history of the Anu. The Anu came from a place called Nibiru, which was a dwarf star system, a planet circling a dwarf star system. And on one of its passes, it actually blew up a planet beyond Mars, in between Mars and Jupiter. There was, according to the Sumerian, there was a large piece left. The Anu, feeling so badly about making such a mistake, drew this hunk of rock together and brought it into a very, very generous section close to the sun, where it would thrive and still keep the life that was still living on this. The Sumerian called this Tiamat. It hadn't been called your Earth yet. And listening to a Zachariah session a few weeks back really set me on this path, because he called them the harvesters of the sun, that they came to harvest the sun. And whether that means by gold, plasma, energy, I can't tell you, but I can tell you the evidence. We have places with ancient gold mines that have run out. And I believe that these people are responsible. These Anu, non-Nibiru. And what that literally means is the Anu who were born on Nibiru. According to the Sumerians, after they rebuilt Tiamat into the earth, they seeded it with their own DNA, and it grew to gigantic proportions because they had installed a water vapor barrier. The whole planet was temperate and livable, and we have experiments that include giantism caused by pressure. Apparently, the Earth's atmosphere had much higher pressure, much higher oxygen level, and this is found in amber, wherever amber is dripped down and created pockets of air. It captures the air of prehistoric world. Giantism is caused. The problem is the Anu set these people to task of getting all the gold and left. When they came back, they found a bunch of them were fighting, and a lot of the work hadn't gotten done. They got apparently pissed off, and they threw an asteroid at the Yucatan. Caused the 65 million year old question, the destruction of the dinosaurs and giants. Are they back? This is 2012. This was done in, I believe, 2013, showing clearly a craft by the sun. This is my favorite, just because of the colors coincide with the Anu harvesting the sun, which is such a gold color. Isn't that nice? This leads us to the reason why they're here again. Well, obviously, it's probably the gold. But beyond that, they manipulate our DNA. They caused us to have a kill switch that is activated by radiation. Radiation which is found in any asteroid. It's called iridium. Now, the asteroid bomb that they threw at the Earth 65 million years ago killed off everything. And according to the Sumerians, they rebuilt it, and they reseeded the Earth using their own DNA and a smaller version, which was still giant, to mine the gold for them. They put them in several programs, which I believe junk DNA is actually our genetic program. This is our kill switch. The reason they did that is because they didn't trust us. Should we trust them? I doubt it. History is all about the gold. The future doesn't have to be. And I do really think that the alien abductions are due directly to the Anu coming back into our sphere of influence and trying to manipulate DNA again. They're trying to save some of the ancient lines, or they're trying to destroy us in other ways, or reprogram us in other ways. Who knows? This is what I think. What do you think he thinks? You have to wonder if all the gold just disappeared. What would the Rothschilds, the Mitt Romneys, how could they rule us? Could they ever bleed us again? The $1 trillion question. I wanted to show you the Illuminati line again. Now, what they want to do is link 4 cities: Boston, New York, Washington, Roanoke. But it also links other cities like Montgomery and Mobile, Alabama, to a particular pyramid in Mexico. Okay? Well, there are reasons it doesn't work. This is their line around the world. And I removed most of the other lines so that you could actually tell. This is the only thing I can find that they connect to. And just look at what they've done in Google Earth. They've made it where you can't even see the island. That's because there are a lot of Templar, crazy Templar things on this island. And it was probably made just as a marker. This is their line. Still doesn't connect to anything until you get into this area. And this, I think, is what they're trying to connect to, is the Temple Mount. But you can see it just goes through parts of Damascus and the Golan Heights. They did actually cross Cyprus, which is just amazing to me, because they don't seem to have any real sense of where they are on Earth. They didn't have the tools that we have. It does cross over the grave of Atlas. And this funny thing, there's a duplicate Georgia guide stone that's done in Cyrillic, the Russian language. As we pull back out, come back into the States, you see they just use this island as a pointer. But that's not the true solstice form. Let me show you what happens. This line is a true solstice line from the pyramid in Mexico, off of one of the angles of the pyramid. This is how badly the Illuminati line even misses Washington, D.C. I want you to notice, this is how I do this. In the heart of Washington, D.C. exists a circular formation right by the Washington Monument. Okay? Drawing a solstice line directly through this takes you, missing Stonehenge, but they get a little closer to the Great Pyramid. This is actually their line, and I stopped it out here. This is just terrible. Even the people who drew up Washington, D.C. got it wrong. So breathe a sigh of relief, folks.